Hey everyone, welcome to the KE Report and a company update from Rackla Metals. I'm chatting with Simon Ridgway, founder and CEO of Rackla Metals. Rackla is traded on the TSX Venture Exchange under the symbol RAK and the Frankfurt Exchange RLH1. Now, Simon, this stock has been moving pretty well over the last few months, really this year, and it's on, I guess, a new focus for the company. This Grad Property in the Northwest Territories. Last year, you had some early stage work, and this year, you have just announced that you are now mobilizing to get eventually drilling on this asset and really follow up on what you found from last year. So, since I haven't had you on the show to talk about the Grad Property, give us a bit of a history, the last year and even before, what's gone on at this asset, please.
Yeah, well, the Grad Property was a brand new discovery last year. I mean, we've been in the Tombstone Gold Belt now with Rackla since 2022. Following the Snowline discovery, we jumped into the belt and looked at all of the intrusive bodies that were to the east of Snowline in the Tombstone Gold Belt and began working our way south through the belt. There's been no discoveries in the belt in the Northwest Territories previously. People of gold. There's been discoveries of lead zinc, big lead zinc deposits, Howard's Pass. The Cantong tungsten mine was open, and they're both related to these tombstone sweet intrusive bodies. But the tombstone sweet intrusives in the NWT had never been explored for gold, and that's why Rackla jumped in. We began working in the belt, and then we had some moderate finds, some weak anomalies, some soil geochem anomalies, and then last year in July, an area came open a bit further south, and we've been working. It was opened up by the Satu Deni First Nations and the Northwest Territories government. It had been withdrawn from staking for about the last decade for land planning. The ground came open. We took a look at the historic government geochemistry in the area, saw some reasonable anomalies of gold and bismuth draining this intrusive body, and staked it. After we staked it, I went in with the crew, and we saw some pretty intense veining in the intrusive. So the crew followed up, before we'd even recorded the claims, and started doing stream sediment sampling and rock sampling. And what we found was pretty intense. We got this intrusive body that just pops up out of the sedimentary rocks, and it is intensely veined with some very good gold numbers in those veins. So this is a rigged system, a reduced intrusive related gold system. They're very significant in the gold belt, associated with very large deposits. And this is a very large system. Never been staked before, never been looked at before. I don't think anybody's ever walked up the creek where we found this outcropping cliff. Sampling in the cliff returns some very high grade in the veins within the intrusive, and some broader sampling returning 38 meters or 1.8 grams in a chip channel in the cliff face, which will be representative of a drill hole, we hope. So this is a brand new discovery. Staked in July, worked in a bit in August. We probably got about 10 man days on the property to date, that's all. So to get in there with the drill this year, me and the team are really excited to get going. So we're mobilizing as we speak pretty much. We should have the drill turning by the first week of July in this large virgin outcropping gold system. Never been tested before. So fingers crossed, we'll be able to show us sort of good continuity in the gold mineralization when the drill cuts into this intrusive body.
All right. Well, Simon, look, the news already came out at the tail end of April that you have your drill permit. So give us a little bit more understanding of how many meters you're going to drill, what the costs are going to be, really big picture on what this drill program will be about.
Yeah, well, it will test two areas, basically. At the very base of the cliff where we got broad samples in the talus, over 500 meters, averaging a gram in the talus that's rolling down the cliff face. So right at the contact with the talus and the outcropping intrusive come together, we'll put about 2,000 meters of drilling down there. And while we're doing that, we're going to have mountaineering geologists sampling on the ridge top. The veins continue 400 meters vertical up this cliff face to the ridge top. We don't know if they're going to continue to carry gold up there. The alteration looks the same. The veins have the same orientation. So we're very optimistic, but let's get some teams up on that ridgetop sampling. This is about at 7,200 feet, so we're quite a ways up there. So right now, there's still, when we were in there last week, Still a little bit of snow on the mountaintop. Hopefully it'll be gone, by the end of this month. And those mountaineer geos can take samples across the cliff face up there. If we confirm there's gold in the veins up there, like there is 400 meters further south, further down, then we'll prepare drill pads on that ridge top and drill much longer holes from the ridge top, probably 400 to 500 meter drill, length in the drill holes, cutting through that whole cliff face. So in total, it's going to be a 4,000 to 5,000 meter drill program. It's going to be very expensive. It's probably going to be in the region of $700 to $800 a meter. Helicopter supported drill is always up there and very expensive, but the prize is very significant. So we are well financed for the program. We've got about 10 million in the treasury right now. We've had a lot of warrants exercised over the last month, and even with those warrants being exercised at 20 cents, we're holding that 30-cent share price. So we're well financed for the program. We're well permitted for the program. All the teams are in place, helicopters, drilling, people, mountaineering geos. We're ready to hit this thing running.
So, Simon, with these early stage drill programs and even discoveries, one thing we hear from companies after the news comes out is that they either hit the system, the stock runs, and it's kind of a party on, or we hear, oh, we hit a lot of smoke. We hit the right sort of other minerals, other metals. We saw glimpses of what we wanted, but we're just not quite in the system. What should we expect here from drill results? Is this the type of system that if you hit it, you're going to know right away?
I believe so. I mean, to try to hit with the first drill holes, that's been pretty optimistic. But our chip channel in the cliff face there gave us, a 40-meter chip channel, gave us 38 meters and 1.8 grams. I'm optimistic that we can keep, drill broad intervals, let's say 100 to 200 meters, 150 meters, plus a gram. That's what I'm hoping for. It's a big mountain. It's outcropping. It looks to be altered across the whole exposure. The south and north face of this cliff. I've got the same veining, same orientation. Can we show that continuity in the first holes in it? I'm hoping we can, but let's see. Time will tell.
Simon, do you have any idea what the assay labs are like? I know you haven't even started drilling now, but I have heard some concerns from listeners, even from other companies, saying that there's a lot of work that's going to be going on this drill season, and people are worried assay labs might get backed up. You have any insights on that?
Yeah, well, it's the same as last season. It was about a 30-day turnaround, which is pretty good. I mean, the year before that, it was pretty terrible. But up in the Yukon, last year was good, and there was a lot of people working then. And I think it's about the same amount of companies going to be drilling this year. So I'm hoping, if we start drilling the first week of July, we'll have some results by the first week of August.
Okay. Simon, you've taken us through this all. You're cashed up and first time testing this grad property, 2 areas being tested in a 4,000 to 5,000 meter program. Keep me up to date on how this is progressing. I'll follow up with you, especially when we get some results, but I know that could still be a little ways off. So any other insights you can give us as the drilling progresses, that is appreciated. And everyone listening, feel free to send me any questions you have for Simon, and I'll get him to address those on any future interviews. So Simon, hey, thank you very much for this update.
No, thank you, Corey. Thanks for the invite. I'm excited to talk about the project.